Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to dive right into understanding cybersecurity. I am absolutely thrilled that we're exploring this together, because our goal for the next few minutes is incredibly simple. We are going to completely demystify digital protection for absolutely everyone. No intimidating jargon, no wildly complex computer science terms. We're just going to look at the core, everyday ideas that make sense of how our digital world actually stays safe. But first, let me hook you with a quick question. What if cyber attacks don't start with supercomputers, but with a simple open door? We so often see these movies where hackers are furiously typing glowing green code to break through some kind of impenetrable firewall. But real-world attacks, they're usually much, much more ordinary. In fact, they rely on the exact same mundane mistakes that we make in the physical world. Section 1, the core reason or why cybersecurity exists. Okay, let's dive into this. Before we can even begin to defend a system, we have to truly understand why we're defending it in the first place. The fundamental rule is simply this: digital systems create value, and anything valuable naturally attracts interference. Think about a physical neighborhood shop. You lock the doors of that shop at night, not because you expect to make theft mathematically impossible forever, but simply because the shop holds valuable things. Digital systems where we store our hard-earned money, our private messages, our businesses, well, they need protection for the exact same reason. Value attracts attention. And that brings us right to the anchor concept of our entire explainer. Cybersecurity is really about protecting trust in digital systems. Think of digital trust like the hidden electrical wiring inside a massive apartment building. You don't actually see the wires, but they're what powers your lights, your fridge, your heating. If one part of that wiring gets exposed or damaged, everyone in the building is going to feel it. Cybersecurity exists to protect that hidden infrastructure of trust that we all literally rely on every single day. Section 2, the path, and how attacks really work. So if we're protecting trust, how do attackers actually try to break it? Well, to defend a system properly, we have to flip our mindset and look at things from the attacker's perspective. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it shows how an attack is never just some random magic trick. It's a carefully engineered path. Step 1, find a weak point. Step 2, gain access. Step 3, expand reach. And Step 4, steal, change, or block value. It's just a predictable route from being outside the system to getting inside its boundary of trust. And the truth is, attackers really don't want to work hard if they don't have to. They're always looking for what we call the side door. Systems almost always fail at the edges, where reality gets a bit messy. Just imagine a building with a heavy steel front door, security cameras, guards. It looks perfectly safe. But if a side door is casually propped open with a brick for the afternoon deliveries, well, that's exactly where the attacker's going to go. Instead of breaking down the strongest wall, they're just looking for that easy gap. And here is an absolutely crucial realization. Humans are not outside the system. We are actually inside it. Often, an attacker isn't breaking software at all. They are shaping a human's decision. Imagine getting a phone call from someone pretending to be your bank, creating a sense of total panic so you just hand over a password to fix some urgent problem. Your judgment is manipulated by pressure, and that manipulated judgment literally becomes the attacker's side door. Because of this human element, attackers think in probabilities, not absolute certainty. They're kind of like someone walking down a long street, just pulling the handles of car doors. They don't need to be brilliant enough to pick the lock on every single car. They just rely on ordinary, compounding weaknesses. Just like rust spreading through a machine, they only need to find one easy, unguarded target to be completely successful. Section 3, the friction and building everyday defenses. So, how do we stop them? Well, the absolute best news here is that our defense does not actually need to be perfect to be highly effective. We just have to change the game. Defense is simply the act of making the attack path harder, shorter, noisier, and less rewarding. In the industry, we call this adding friction. The entire goal is just to change the attacker's calculation. If you put enough annoying hurdles in their way, the effort they have to put in completely outweighs the reward they might get, and they will usually just move on to an easier target. So, the crucial point is understanding the difference between two notoriously confusing concepts. First up, authentication. This is asking, are you really the user? It's exactly like proving you have the key to the front door of the building. But then there's authorization, which asks, what are you actually allowed to do? This decides which specific rooms inside that building your key is actually permitted to open. And knowing that difference leads directly to the concept of limiting the blast radius. Think about it. If you give every single employee a master key to every single room in the entire building, one lost key is an absolute disaster.
But if people only have permission to access the rooms they actually need for their job, well, a mistake or a stolen key has a much, much smaller impact. By controlling those permissions, we are intentionally limiting how far the damage can possibly spread. And this brilliantly illustrates how simple, everyday actions act as those essential layers of friction we talked about. First, software updates. They literally just repair known weak locks before someone can test them. Second, verification. Simply taking a deep breath to verify an urgent message forces a pause that instantly breaks the momentum of manipulation. And third, backups. They provide a spare key for recovery, ensuring that if something actually does go wrong, it doesn't become a total, irreversible disaster.
Section 4. Layering your protection.
Let's move to and see how this builds into something powerful. When we pull all of these defensive tools together, we see how overlapping, individual, imperfect layers create a truly resilient system for literally anyone, from a family at home to a growing business. It's a comprehensive matrix that responds to every single attacker move. If they look for a weak point, we reduce weak points. They try to steal an identity, we strengthen authentication. Expand inside, we limit permissions. Use old flaws, we patch and update. Manipulate trust, we verify. Cause disruption, we back up. Security isn't just random luck. It's a direct, logical response to how attacks naturally flow.
Section 5. The security mindset and key takeaways. We've officially shifted from seeing security as this frightening, highly technical mystery to seeing it as a readable system that you can actually understand and control. To develop a true security mindset, you definitely don't need to be a programmer. You just need to confidently apply these 4 quick questions to spot risks in any digital situation. Number 1, what is being trusted here? Number 2, where could that trust be broken? Number 3, if one thing fails, how far can the damage spread? And finally, what makes the attack harder? By regularly asking these simple questions, you immediately transition from feeling like a helpless target to an empowered, informed defender. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will you treat digital security as a mysterious, unavoidable threat, or as a system you have the power to build? Because the truth is, good security is built, not guessed. It's just a series of smart, everyday choices that protect the amazing value we create. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay safe, stay curious, and go build those everyday defenses.